Hi there, and welcome to A Journey to Milk and Honey. Now, I'm just going to jump in here real quickly, I hope, to provide y'all with some thoughts I had about an email that I received on December 6th of last year from the organization ZOA, or Zionist Organization of America. Now, I don't know a lot about this organization, but I do know that Zionism seems to be a very controversial word these days, at a minimum, and downright evil to millions as well. And if you go back to my podcast number 6, by the way, with Brian Grodman, you'll hear a basic lesson on Zionism. Anyway, in this email, ZOA was strongly praising and supporting a bill introduced in the U.S. Congress on March 5th, 2024, last year, which essentially would ban the future use of the term West Bank in all official U.S. documents and materials, and instead begin using the term Judea and Samaria. The bill, H.R. 7552, entitled Recognizing Judea and Samaria Act, originated in the House by Representative Claudia Tenney, a Republican from New York, back in March 2024, and was then immediately referred to the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, which is still where it resides today, by the way. So the sponsors of this bill basically are saying that the historically accurate terminology for that region is Judea and Samaria versus the West Bank, and that this language aligns with U.S. policy language, and that all U.S. documents and materials will use the historically accurate term Judea and Samaria instead of the West Bank moving forward. Senator Tom Cotton had this to say about the bill. The Jewish people's legal and historic right to Judea and Samaria goes back thousands of years. The U.S. should stop using the politically charged term West Bank to refer to the biblical heartland of Israel. Congressman Tenney affirmed this by saying, "The Israeli people have an undeniable and indisputable historical and legal claim over Judea and Samaria. And at this critical moment in history, the United States must reaffirm this." She says that this bill reaffirms Israel's claim to its territory. She goes on to say, "I remain committed to defending the integrity of the Jewish state and fully supporting Israel's sovereignty over Judea and Samaria." Now, as a quick aside, I want to share something with y'all because this is kind of what I like to do. I want to find out a little bit more about the origins of the term West Bank. So what I found out is a bit of a history lesson, and it goes something like this. Following the December 1948 post-Holocaust Jericho Conference, Transjordan, as Jordan was called back then, annexed the area west of the Jordan River in 1950, naming it West Bank, or Cisjordan, designated the area east of the river as East Bank, or Transjordan. Jordan, as it is now known, ruled over Judea and Samaria, or as they called it, the West Bank, from 1948 until 1967. Then, in 1967, after Israel's 3 Arab neighbors, Jordan, Egypt, and Syria, launched the Six-Day War against Israel, a war which the tiny nation of Israel was victorious, by the way. Israel then reclaimed Judea and Samaria from Jordan. And now we know the origin of the term West Bank. And here we are today, almost 60 years later, and the world still refers to Judea and Samaria as the West Bank, which it is not. It blows my mind, honestly, because I even hear Jews speaking about that territory as the West Bank instead of Judea and Samaria. Absolutely mind-blowing. You know, in my opinion, there's a reason that over history, we constantly see the elimination of language or the substituting of language to erase the existence of Israel and the Jewish people. For Jew haters around the world, it's not enough to eliminate the Jewish people physically. But they also must and continue to do all they can to eliminate the existence of the Jewish people historically. Just change or substitute a few words here and there, right? But words matter. So in conclusion, I want to express my gratitude to Representative Tenney and to Senator Tom Cotton for this legislative endeavor in support of Israel and of the Jewish people worldwide. Thank you all for joining me today on A Journey to Milk and Honey. Before you go, don't forget that you can stay connected with us on social media, as we're on all major platforms at JMH Podcast, and we would love to hear from you. You can also find us on YouTube at JMH Podcast or A Journey to Milk and Honey. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, as it really helps out our channel. And wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure to follow us there to stay updated on new episodes and to keep your journey going. If you're looking for more, you can visit us online at ajourneytomilkandhoney.com or jmhpodcast.com. Oh, and by the way, if you enjoyed this podcast, please take a moment to leave a review or comment, as your feedback helps the podcast to grow and improve, and we truly value your support. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and shalom.